All right, welcome to Witchpolice Radio. Back on the internet as always, because no one lives in the real world anymore. And this is kind of a cool episode because there's some people who have been involved in the local music scene for a long time. And for whatever reason, I haven't had either of you on the podcast before. But it's cool that you are both on together now. You have this project that's just come out that is very exciting. And I think the best way to sort of start things off is if the two of you want to introduce yourselves and just give a little bit of background about this new project and what you've been working on.
You want me to go first, Cypha?
After you.
I'm DJ Kutdown. I've known Cypha for about 20 years, and last year, we just decided to get it done. It's been a long time in the coming.
Cool.
Facts. Cypha Diaz, I'm one half of the Dim Mac Monks. You know what I mean? Yeah, we just dropped this album February 22nd, so it's available everywhere. It's available everywhere like air. And yeah, just happy to chop it up with you, fam. Thanks for having us.
Cool. Well, so I guess like you said, you've known each other for decades now. So what was the kind of what was the incentive for working together now? Why 2021? Is it because of the pandemic giving you time to do this, or what was the sort of reason to finally come together and make this record?
It just lined up. One day about 8 months ago, I was going through a hard drive and I found 4 or 5 songs that Cypha and I had done, and I hit him up on Instagram and I was like, maybe we should do something with these, like just wrap it up and put them out.
Yeah.
And then that gets to like, well, maybe we'll add a more current track. And then the chemistry was like track after track after track, and then we had 13 new tracks. So we scrapped the old ones and we did a whole record. Am I right? Like, that's exactly how it went.
It's true. They still sitting there, but
So I guess, like, I mean, this is maybe, Kutdown, this is maybe a question for you. You've worked with a lot of people over the years, and you have a very distinctive sound as a producer. But what do you look for in a collaborator? Like, what makes a good collaboration with you? Because I'm sure you've worked with some people where the sound doesn't necessarily work out. This, from what I've heard of it, it sounds very cool, and it seems like a good combination. The two of you, your vocals and your production. But what do you look for when you're collaborating with a rapper or a singer or someone who's doing the lyrical part of the puzzle?
I mean, it goes back to the Foul Tone days. Like,
yeah,
I'm looking for the artist who wants to curate some art. They want to sit down and put 10, 15 songs together and make a project, all recorded. Like, we recorded everything the same way we recorded the first track. There was no outside production. We didn't record the vocals at different spots. It was all done in one place. It was the same. Like, we're looking, I like it when it's done in one take. I want the vocals done in one take. I want that energy. I don't want punches. And that's some old school shit. You got to go to the old school guys to get that. and that's Cypha, it's the guys from back in the day who are veterans who can. That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for the skill. I'm tired with the punches. I'm tired with the, sitting on tracks. Let's do it. Let's just make the record. And let's put something great together and get it out there.
Okay.
And that's the goal in any artist I'm working with.
Well, and I think that maybe that comes through too, because on this album, I mean, both sides of it, the beats are very dense. There's a lot going on. It's very it often sounds very ominous to me. Like there's like it's sort of this like terror. You're freaking out the listener. But then the lyrics are the vocals are similarly dense. Like it's lyrically dense. It's not there's a lot going on contextually and just vocally there. So I guess let's reverse the question. And then, so what is it about his beats that you think that you work well on as a lyricist?
Oh man, I could go on for hours about Kutdown. He's a samurai, you know what I mean? Like, he's a serious man. He puts in that work, and when he lays a beat, it's weird because it's rooted in foundation, right? I'm an old school purist, so it's technical. It's rooted in foundation, like these 4-bar loops. He's got it to a point to where the arrangement of it is where it comes to life. You know what I mean? Simple yet effective, like not basic.
Movement.
Right.
Word. And so you get on there and there's just all kinds of room for you to move, and you could just like be like syrup, like molasses dripping through the crevices of every crack of this beat. Like, you know what I mean? It's very easy. It makes it very easy. He's a good dude. He's easy to work with. We get results fast. We both want to work. We both want to work. I think that's the most important part on my part. Like, we're not trying to just do the bare minimum. We're serious men.
Yeah.
But we are doing the bare minimum. Like the bare minimum, like one takes, we're not using a computer, you know, bare minimum.
Yeah.
Barely mixing it, just making it, keeping that energy to it.
Well, it seems like, I mean, maybe this is my perception of it, but I get that it was recorded in a minimal kind of way, in the sense that, like you just said, right, you're together, you're doing it from start to finish. It's not you're not punching anything in, but it has this is again me being like old and set in my ways, but I feel like a lot of hip hop now is minimalist in a negative way, where, to my ears anyway, where it's too stripped down, and there's not that amount of depth when it comes to production or lyrics. And this is kind of this is like a maximal effort, in the sense that, you know, everything it's so layered and so dense. So how do you guys feel about that? I mean, because I'm a guy who listens to hip hop, but I'm definitely set in my ways and stuck in a certain era, and it's probably a similar era to you guys, where this is kind of the stuff that I want to hear. And while there's still some great stuff happening, no doubt, in Winnipeg and elsewhere, it definitely seems like the trend has gone away from the type of stuff that you're talking about, where that kind of interaction between producer and MC is not the same, because you'll have a CD now and it'll have, or not even a CD, an album will have 20 tracks, and each track has a different producer, and that kind of cohesiveness that you used to get, which is something that I definitely feel on this album isn't there anymore.
Yeah. I mean, to go back to the sound you're talking about, like these simple, it's the samples, like it's the sound you choose to make the music you're making. I mean, me and Cypha chose those samples. We picked those beats, and that's how it came out. I mean, it's very simple stuff there. Everything you hear, they're simple. There's a couple loops, some bass lines, and some drums. There's nothing fancy.
Yeah. A sword master will tell you, like, it all starts with the kind of steel you're working with.
Right.
You know what I mean? Before you even melt it down, like, what do you got there? What's the natural basis?
I hear what you're saying about the new music. It is stripped down. It is pretty basically, it's the sounds. If you like the sounds, you like the sound.
Yeah. No, that's a good way of putting it. And I always feel like I'm an old man yelling at clouds, just like complaining about this, because like it came to me a long time ago that stuff's not for me. I'm not the audience for that stuff, and so like my criticism of it is kind of just like, well, whatever. Who cares what this guy has to say about it? But I mean,
I think they're fabricating the audience for that.
In what way?
I think. Yeah.
No, go ahead.
I think a lot of it has to do with quantize.
Yep.
Like a lot of it has to do with just like, you can make beats, but you got to make beats that move, kind of pull you somewhere, pull you forward, make you sit back, lean back. Like, it's the movement, it's the quantize. Like, it's just a lot of new music's pretty stiff.
Yeah, that might be what it is. Yeah.
Everybody rocks out to the ABC song, the alphabet song. Like, everybody knows it. I mean, everybody's bopped to it at some point in their life, but there's Tchaikovsky out there. There's Bach out there. You know what I mean? There's Coltrane out there.
Yeah.
So like, there's levels to this. And you can find that basic loop or tone that people gravitate to, but what are you going to do with it?
Right.
Facts. And then Kutdown, this guy, I've never seen anybody do what he does. Like, he's so proficient in it. He's so professional, and he doesn't stop. Like, every day he's at it, man. Every day he's putting me to work in some form of fashion.
How long did it take to put this whole thing together? Like, how long were you guys actually working on this as a duo, I guess?
What, 8 weeks? 8 weekends?
Seriously, Oh, wow.
Something like that. Maybe 10 weekends, 10 visits,
Yeah.
We were restricted. We were restricted by current situations in the world and stuff. But we did what we had to do, and it could have been done a lot quicker. But we wanted to be safe. We wanted to be cautious. We wanted to adhere to, the sensitivities at the moment. So it wasn't hard. It wasn't difficult.
Well, one of the things that I've been asking, I mean, I'm doing two of these a week and talking to, country singers and rappers and punk bands and metal bands or whatever. And one of the things that I find very interesting is the way that people have dealt with this situation we're in terms of creativity. Like some people have been just completely blocked and they haven't been able to write or create. And a lot of the time that's because they're in a band and maybe, the singer's in one house, the guitarist somewhere else, they can't meet up. But what has this been like for the two of you in terms of being able to create? Have you found it like a time where you're able to come up with a lot, able to do the same level of work that you would have done beforehand, or more or less?
Go ahead, Cypha.
Okay, I'll say, yeah, there was points where we were laughing at how easy it was coming.
Oh, yeah?
It was just happening, and we were like, that was 15 minutes, and we're doing cuts, writing whole tracks.
Nice.
You know what I'm saying? And at the same time, we didn't rush anything. There wasn't a rush. It didn't feel like there was an urgency. It just happened naturally. We were having fun doing it. You know what I mean? We had a bunch of people, like, we had a handful of people, I shouldn't say a bunch, but we had a handful of people that were like giving us the okay in the direction we were going, you know what I mean? The senseis and the comrades, they were showing us mad love. So we knew we had something. I think we knew we had something from the start. So it was easy. It was simple. It happened really fast. Yeah, COVID couldn't stop us.
That's good. Yeah.
What I found with the whole pandemic and the lockdowns and stuff, nothing much changed for me. I still had to go about my usual daily routine and such.
Yeah.
But a lot of people on the internet, beat makers especially, a lot of those guys were putting out a lot more output. Okay. You heard a lot more. I was seeing so many more beats being posted on Instagram, and that just inspired me. So like the whole pandemic, I'd come home from work or wherever I was doing, and I opened my Instagram and just banger after banger, all these guys. And I would just get on the machine and start making like instantly. So it just turned into a routine. I kind of fell into whatever was happening musically.
Well, that
and
makes
I
sense,
think I pushed out a lot more because of the inspiration I got from the people who were affected by it.
Well, and I guess you're doing something too that's lends itself to being kind of locked up and solitary in the first place, right?
Oh yeah, it's my world.
Yeah.
Like the more time I can spend here, the happier I am usually.
So this is that's an unexpected benefit, I guess, of everything being shut down for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
So listening to the record, I mean, it seems like it seems very thematic sonically and lyrically and everything else. What is the concept behind it? What was the how did you put this together in terms of just the overall, I don't want to say storyline because I don't think it's necessarily a concept album, but the vibe of it and the feel of it and just the sort of flow of it from start to finish?
I think that's Cypha again.
Man, if it's to me, then I just have to say, dog, we just wanted some music to train to. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We just wanted some music we could go hard to, some grown-ass, mature-ass music, densely nutritious. We just wanted.
Cypha came with that like dim math. Like, he'd hear the couple beats and you picked those beats. You picked them all. I didn't give you them. You were like, I want that one, I want that one. And then you came with the whole dim math, like.
Word. I sent him a sample, right? I'm like, Cuddy, man, you hearing what I'm hearing right now? And I believe it was for the Death Touch, that one. And you're like, this is crazy. Hold on. And within hours, he sends me this masterpiece. Yeah, man. And it was just, dude, it was everything I had in my head. He kind of just took it out and just put it into the ASR. It was crazy.
Cool. What is the sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, the Death Touch was the first song, and I think that song wrote the rest of the record.
Okay.
He gave it the vibe, and Cypha just let all that grow, and that's how it came about.
I don't want to dwell on the pandemic too much, but what was it like releasing a record during the pandemic? Because I mean, obviously the way you release albums anyway is different because digital has kind of just taken over everything. And so, I mean, timelines are not necessarily the same as they would have been even 5 or 10 years ago, but you're putting out music in an era where no one can play shows. You can't do a release show for this. You can't do anything like that, at least not now. So what was that experience like, sort of putting something out into the world without having the opportunity to, properly, I guess, like introduce it to people?
That's on you, Cut.
Well, we tried to promote it as well as we could on social media.
Yeah.
And not bombard people. Like, I don't want to annoy you, but I want to let you know. So we kind of timed out when we dropped. We got a couple videos made when we were going to drop them. As for shows, I mean, I'm still hoping we can play some shows this summer.
Yeah.
I'm hoping we can do something.
It's going down. We got a show this weekend. It's going down. I mean, it's controlled. It's in like a, how do you put it? It's in a sterilized studio environment.
Yeah.
And Northern Touch Music Festival that's going on this weekend, maybe next week. Maybe one of these weekends we got to show.
Right.
You know what I mean? I know Cuddy's got a situation going on. I don't want to spoil it. Maybe if he wants to share that with you, he can let the cat out the bag on that one.
This is coming out when, Sam?
It'll be a few weeks after we record it.
Yeah, so I entered this contest with Roland USA.
Okay. Yeah.
And they picked 12 people, and I was one of the 12.
Oh, cool.
and now they're putting out this record of a beat of mine and of all the other contestants in conjunction with Stone's Throw Records.
Oh, wow.
And they've asked me to do a 30-minute live beat set on the SP404.
Cool.
So for the last 2 weeks, I have just haven't been making beats. Been trying to get this set going, and we're filming it this Sunday.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah. And
when's that actually coming out?
I don't know. I know the videos and stuff will probably be released on April 4th, which is 404.
Okay, yeah, makes sense. Yeah.
The record, I don't know.
That's cool though. Yeah, that's a big deal. Is this DimMac project? This is coming out as a physical release too, right?
It is.
Absolutely.
What's the details with that?
It'll be full color vinyl, and it'll be limited copies in about 8 weeks.
Right. Well, it takes a while, right? to get the records. Yeah. What was the? I'm glad you're doing that. I want to get a copy for sure. But what was the reasoning behind that for you guys? Because again, we're in the middle of a pandemic. People aren't necessarily going out to buy. I mean, I know you can order them online and stuff too, obviously, but and we're in this bizarre, just future dystopia where everyone just streams shit and doesn't listen to albums start to finish, and they just, everything's so disposable, right? And so what is the reasoning behind releasing something that requires that much time and investment as an LP in an era like this? I'm glad you're doing it, but what was the thought process for you guys?
Because I buy a vinyl all the time.
Yeah, fair enough.
I buy independent rap vinyl all the time. And I can't be the only one.
No, you're not. Definitely. Yeah. I buy all kinds of,
So,
this is what I'm talking about.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, we're not doing a lot, I've been the guy, you press 500 and you're stuck with a bunch, we're not doing a lot. I'm hoping, I am we're old school. You got to have the vinyl.
Yeah,
we bringing it back.
Yeah.
And it is kind of you see a lot more independent artists doing it.
You do, yeah. Because I think it's the thing that people will buy now, right? I think CDs are kind of less popular, even at shows. People want to buy something, and they're going to much more likely gravitate towards the record than they are to a CD. So yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah, you're not buying a CD. No one's buying a CD.
Well, I still do because I can't help myself. But I mean, most people are not.
Really,
doing that. Oh, I got way too many.
What do you feel about tapes? I'm going to do some tapes too.
I love tapes. But I never stopped, right? I never stopped listening to tapes. Even when CDs came out, I just kept my tapes. And then I didn't buy the same ones again on CD. So I still have the same tapes from like 92 or something that I've just always listened to whatever album that is on tape, right? So, and then same with CDs. I have this some disgusting number of CDs that I can't bring myself to get rid of. So, I mean, yeah, the tape renaissance is cool though, because it seems like a lot of the people into it are people who didn't grow up with tapes at all, and so it's like this weird novelty for them. And it's like I've talked to 20-year-olds on the show, and they're putting out tapes with their band, but they don't have a tape deck, and they've never had a tape deck. But it's just like this thing that now it's like almost a collector's item, right? It's just to have a tape, which is funny because tape was always just the easiest way to release something because it was the cheapest and you could do it basically in your basement, right?
And I'm having problems getting tapes from the supplier right because
Oh,
like
yeah?
it's such a big boom.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, I'm gonna do some tapes too with I did an instrumental project not long ago, so I'll have tapes for that coming out real soon.
Cool.
I'm gonna do dim mat tapes as well.
Gut Bucket, yo, you gotta go check the Gut Bucket. That's a crazy project, man.
When is that coming out?
That came out. That came
Oh,
out
it came out.
maybe
Okay.
2 weeks before dim mat.
Oh, cool. Okay, okay.
Just it's just a little beat tape.
Cool, cool. Well, I guess like I mean, you're also in a genre of music where tapes never really stopped being a thing, too, right? I mean, there's like hip hop and then hardcore punk and like black metal and stuff. There's certain genres where tapes are just always just the format, so it makes sense to release on tape for sure.
Yeah, like that analog sound.
Yeah, it's definitely an aesthetic that a lot of people, myself included, like enjoy listening to. So, what are the two of you like separately? What other projects you have going on outside of this? Obviously, this is the thing you're pushing now because it just came out, and like you said, you're going to be putting out the vinyl and everything. But what else is going on musically for each of you?
So you cut.
I got okay, so we got the dim mat vinyl, dim mat tape, gut bucket boombox tape, and then I have
Hey, wait, hang on a second. Hang on. Just sorry to interrupt you, but Gut Bucket Boombox, that was the name that you used for that live group that you guys did like 15 years ago, right?
Yes, yeah.
Okay,
That's Ismala came up with that name. And when I made this tape, I sent him a text and I was like, can I use that? And Ismala and I have a new record that is it's done. I got the art today actually. I gotta figure that all out. What else I got? Feels like I got a lot going on. I'm working with some guys from New York. Got some stuff popping with some other artists. I got some placements coming this year. I don't really want to, I seem to have had some last year that didn't happen. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, you don't want to jinx it, right? Yeah.
It's just we'll see what happens. That's it. Just keep on making beats with some more projects. Dim Mac 2 is now 5 songs deep.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's a quick turnaround for the sequel.
Yeah. I got a Mikel Rondo. I got a Mikel Rondo project done.
Oh wow.
I got a whole D Grimes album done. I need 8 songs and fire songs done. What else I got? I got a whole Charlie Fetta and Mikel record done.
Oh wow, that's cool.
I mean,
so is this Foul Tone still? Is Foul Tone still what you're using to release this stuff, or?
I've been putting it on the stuff, yeah. It's like there's no social media for Foul Tone.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
But yeah, like I've been putting a stamp on it.
Cool. Well, what about you, Cypha? What do you got going on other than Dimac?
I don't do much, man. Oh well, man, we just working. Expect a whole F ton of singles coming your way. I have a project coming with Jack Mills. Shout out Jack Mills. There's a project right now with DJ Stop. It's in limbo right now because of the whole COVID situation, but that should be a pretty crazy project compilation. I'm working with my man Iron Mike Sharp. I think he's got a compilation coming out. I'm just jumping on a bunch of random stuff, all in preparation for Cypha Life Volume 2.
Okay. Which
should be coming sooner than you fucking think. Cypha Life is in stores right now, the album. But yeah, we working, man. We working. Shout out to everybody else who's working. You know what I mean? Hit me up for duets. You know what I mean? I'll jump in the quartet if you want. Like, hit me up. I'm available. Got Mike. Where do we go?
Right. Where can people find this stuff? I mean, again, like we've been saying, everything's available online pretty much everywhere now. But especially for Dimac, where would you guys want people to go to actually pick up the album before the vinyl comes out, obviously?
Bandcamp? You say Bandcamp?
I guess it'd be Bandcamp.
Yeah, because then at least you get something out of it, right?
Yeah.
I would say Bandcamp. You know, I mean, Cuddy put me on the Bandcamp, and I've been loving it. I've been loving it.
Well, it's nice that you actually get paid something.
Absolutely.
Instead of like 0.0002 cents or something. Yeah, from the other. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shout out Cypha Life. Shout out the Bandcamp. Shout out Spotify, YouTube's. Yeah, shout out everybody that's distributing and promoting our music.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's cool that you can do something like you said. It was a quick project, right? You did it in a few weeks, and you can put it out, and it's just there, and people can just immediately get it. Like, as someone who's a nerd about physical media, that's the one thing I do like about the internet, is that you can release music and it's out there to everyone within like minutes, basically, right? So I mean, at least you have the option of people being able to hear it, whether they're in Winnipeg or anywhere else. So that's cool.
Big salute and shout out to DistroKid.
They
make it really easy. They make it really easy.
Yeah, I find it easier nowadays than ever.
Yeah.
It's very nice.
It is cool.
Streamlined.
Yeah, it's just different. I'm still hard to have trouble getting my brain around it. I still don't use Spotify or any of that stuff because I can't. I have all these CDs, tapes, and records.
Really?
I can't not listen to them. Like, they're there, and I'm looking at them all day. Like, I'm working from home right now because of the pandemic, and it's all right in front of me. And it's like I have to dig through all of it constantly. So, but yeah, it's I'm glad for people who want to hear your stuff and everyone else's stuff that there is that online option for sure. Is there any like, where are people going to be able to find the record once it comes out? Is it just an order online sort of deal? Bandcamp maybe again?
Yeah, it'd probably be our Instagram links and our bios to our Bandcamp.
Cool.
Okay.
Get us out the trunk.
Yeah.
Well, you might be at that point, right? Or maybe it's a pandemic still. Yeah.
It'll definitely be in vintage vinyl in Osborne Village if you're in.
Cool. That's awesome. Yeah. Right on.